Hi there. I've decided to start doing more Q&A. I know that when I do my masterclasses, it's the most popular feature. People love to have their opportunity to ask a question. So if you've got any questions around dressing for work, your personal style, please do either DM me or drop a comment or send an email in, and I'll do my best to get you featured. So today, what I've asked my team to do is just to collate anything that comes in or that they see that is DM'd or is written in a comment, and they've just put them in a list for me. And what I love to do is I love to answer these spontaneously so that I haven't had any prep, because I just feel that it gives me the opportunity just to say things as I see them in that moment, and that's just the way that I like to do. I don't like to do too much sort of thinking and just go right from my intuition. So I've got a list of questions here that I haven't actually read. So here we go. The first one comes from Sarah, and she says, everyone tells me I look about 12. What can I do to look older without looking too old? That's actually a really great question. Again, it's one of those questions that comes up with the clients of mine who are younger than their position would necessarily be. You know, they're advanced for their age, they've really been promoted quickly, and I've had a couple of Elevate members who've had those questions as well. So the thing that really helps you to look older without looking old is the quality of your clothes. There is nothing that will make you look more established, more professional, more senior than just looking like you've invested more, that you're earning more, that your quality is better. It just gives so much more gravitas. So that's the first thing I would look to. So even if you're keeping your style really simple, there is a massive difference to the impression. For example, in the most basic sense, a suit from Next would look totally different than a suit from Theory. That's just an example of that. The other thing that you can really look to is just making sure that you're really dressing with the colours in mind. So for example, your contrast levels. What I find as well is that when I'm talking to women, particularly if they're in a corporate environment, in a traditionally professional environment, learning about using contrast really helps bring gravitas, because a lot of the things that people worry about when they feel that their colleagues are not taking them seriously because they feel too young, it's just often because they feel a little bit like they're looking a little bit invisible, that they're blending in. So really learn about the contrast levels. It's too much to go into here, but just about how if you have high contrast, which is light and dark, it just brings a bit more power. That kind of thing will really enhance you and really show your impact. So that's definitely something else to think about. And then also just look at the brands. So, you know, again, different brands have got different avatars, different age ranges that they're aiming for. Now, you want to make sure that the brands that you're wearing are appropriate for your business, but also for your age group and potentially the age group above. You know, the idea of dressing for the job you want. So you don't want to be jumping into brands that are really aimed at women a lot older than you, but really be thinking about the brands that are a next step up for the age group you're in. And as I say, really think about the quality and investing a next step up from wherever you are now. They're the main things I would really think about in terms of dressing older than you are. Really just looking at the brands you're buying and the quality. So I hope that's useful, Sarah. Tina says, I'm menopausal, and while working at home I have been able to cope with my regular hot flushes. I feel so self-conscious in the office. I know there's lots of ideas out there, but do you have any particular tips? Tina, I really feel for you. I feel very lucky. I am personally also menopausal, but I haven't suffered from hot flushes, so I feel very blessed with that. However, I do run hot, as they say. The main thing I would really thinking about is first of all is to be layering, so that you're really in a position where if you suddenly have a hot flush, you're not stuck in something that you just can't get off. So really think about making sure that you've got layers on, that you can just remove that top layer and let yourself cool down. I'd also really think about making sure that you have natural fibres on. They will really help you to just not create that heat already. And I know that the heat that comes from a hot flush is different anyway, but you're going to get hot and sweaty. The other thing that I would also recommend is just to make sure that you've got spare of something, you know, because a lot of the problems that come with this sort of feelings around us, and again, it's a discussion that I have with clients, it's a discussion I have with my members. it's almost that feeling, that shame, which obviously I don't want anyone to have, no one should have, and menopausal women definitely shouldn't have. But it's that feeling like if you've had a hot flush and you have really perspired a lot, you don't want to be sitting around in clothes that have got sweat patches, or that you just feel self-conscious, and you want to give yourself the best opportunity to move on from that. And the other thing that I'd recommend, it's a really small thing, is just to make sure you've got a desk fan. You can even get handhold fans. Like, really think of the ways that you can get that heat off you as soon as you can. The other thing that I would recommend, if you find that your physical appearance has changed a lot, like your hairline, you get very sweaty, definitely invest in having a can of dry shampoo in your drawer at work, just to kind of take that edge off when your hair is, gets really sweaty at the scalp. The dry shampoo will be your friend in that. But also really consider the idea of getting some semi-permanent makeup tattooed on, which I've talked about in other videos that I've done. It's something that I've had done myself just as a time saver, but I've really seen how it really helps with the confidence level. If you're somebody who, for example, you might not wear any makeup, but again, this is for everybody really. If you're somebody who has makeup on, just having your eyebrows semi-permanently tattooed on, microbladed on, just so that everything stays in place, is really helpful. Having an eyeliner tattooed on, just so if you are finding you're wiping your face down a lot, having your makeup stay put could be really beneficial for you. And just make sure that you've got some hankies to hand. And I think preparation is the thing that's going to help you with your confidence, so that you're not kind of taken unaware. So just make sure that you've got the things in your bag. But in terms of clothing, definitely layering, and definitely as man-made fibres as you can possibly manage, because they will reduce the amount that you sweat. So Tina, I hope that that's helpful. Sam has asked, she said, help. We have a team building day coming up, and I need to dress for archery, followed by cocktails and dinner. I'm panicking. Would you take 2 outfits, or is there something I could wear for both? I can't see that there's anywhere to change but the toilets. Wow, okay, that's quite a big ask. The main thing is, first of all, you have to plan ahead, and I think that whenever you're given these off-sites and away days and conferences and things like that, the most important thing for you is to make sure that, it's why I'm always banging on about having this sort of wardrobe that's curated and conscious, and you've kind of ticked the boxes for every area of your life. You might not be doing some of those activities, you might not be dressing for archery, but if you've got, that you've got that casual end ticked off, as well as the cocktail dress. So first of all, with the archery, I would go jeans, sweatshirt, jumper, those kind of things. Depending on how dressy the cocktails is, you could then just switch the shirt and put some jewelry on and have jeans and put heels on, depending on, again, with the archery, it depends on if it's, on a winter's day and it's muddy and you're going to really want to change, or whether you could actually just add a silk blouse to those skinny jeans, put a heel on, minimum changing. That would be the ideal, because again, cocktails can be anything from, quite a sparkly little dress to actually just, a heel, or not a heel, but like something a little bit more evening-y. Evening-y for me tends to be fabric, maybe with a little bit of a satin effect to it, maybe a little bit of shimmer, those kind of things. But often you can make something quite evening-y by just putting jewelry on. So you could be in a situation where you might find, again, depends on where these cocktails are happening. You can even dress up a t-shirt with a necklace, a statement necklace, and put some earrings on. Even by pinning your hair up, and putting some red lipstick on, you could make yourself look more evening-y. So I think the things that I'd ask you to do, Sam, is to really think about finding out the location of these and how dressy that cocktail event is, with the dinner, because that's going to be a big decider in whether you're going to need a couple of different things. But the main thing is, please plan ahead. Think about finding out those things, and then making sure that you've got what you need on that day. But you definitely could find a situation where you could keep the same bottoms on and then switch around the tops. So I'd love to know how that goes. So do let me know. I hope you found that useful, Sam. And finally today, Tanya says, I work in a creative agency where no one else dresses for work at all. What's a fair alternative to ripped jeans and a t-shirt for someone in their 40s who's not so naturally casual? Well, I think, Tanya, obviously in a creative industry, creative agency, you need to dress for that culture. So, but you can also be yourself. If you're somebody who's naturally quite dressy, embrace that, wear that. You don't have to go completely down the ripped jeans if that's just not who you are. Again, I've had clients who don't even own jeans. Not everyone has to be that person. I would just make sure that you I'm just thinking a fair alternative to ripped jeans and a t-shirt, someone in their 40s. I would do like a casual trouser, which again, depending on your personal style, could be, wide leg. Maybe you could just wear wide leg trouser with jeans, wide leg trouser with trainers, which is what I would wear. Or you could do like a narrow leg trouser with a pointed flat, something like that. You could wear a blazer over the top of your t-shirt. You could wear a silk, not a silk shirt, wash silk shirt if that feels a little bit more luxurious to you, but you could still dress that down with a jeans look and trainers. I think the main thing is, again, it's hard for me because I don't know your personal style, and for me it really depends on not just the creative industry you work in, but also your personal style. So I would urge you to have a look on Instagram and Pinterest and just start to pull some aspirational images. So what I mean by that is images of looks that you like, that are in that casual, smart casual kind of area. Find some style icons that you like, whether it's, celebrities or just bloggers or anything, and just think, right, what is it that they've put together, and just copy, just have an idea and think, right, okay, I like that outfit. I'm going to also look for some, wide leg, flat fronted trousers, and just piece it together by looking for aspiration that you can find. But you absolutely can dress for how you feel comfortable. And in a creative industry, creative agency, it's yes, you don't want to, you wouldn't look right or feel part of the culture if you totally wore a more corporate look, but absolutely within a creative agency you can still be on the smarter side. It's just important that you find your style, but to be comfortable you just absolutely have to dress for yourself, as well as the job. So do dress up. Don't worry about everybody else dressing down. Do what you feel that you need to do to bring your best self to work. And who knows, you might inspire them all to dress it up. I've seen that before as well. They say all boats rise with the tide. Sometimes everybody just all dresses down, but if somebody else around them levels up, people also think, oh, okay, you almost give people permission to do the same. So do what is right for you. Anyway, I hope you found that useful. Please do send in your Q&As and I'd love to answer them on this segment.